Before we start painting, I want to show you why this landscape is such a strong subject to learn from. Now, straightforward, but it teaches the core skills that will strengthen your own landscapes in the future. The whole scene is built on three clear layers. There's the sky, the middle distance, and the foreground. Once you can gain control of those three, you can approach almost any landscape with confidence. Now, first there's the sky. This is a broad open wash, great for timing, movement, and your soft cloud shapes. This approach will help you create stronger skies in your future paintings. And then there's these middle distance trees. They're perfect for value control and edge control. They need strength without heaviness. And I'll show you how to build them in stages so they sit naturally in the scene. That's a method you can use in your own work. And then at the front there, it's only small, but there's this foreground slope, and it's a chance to add warmth and direction with a few confident strokes. Now your foregrounds rely on clarity, they're not detail, and that makes the landscapes feel more open and more convincing. Palette wise, I've just used a couple of earths, a couple of greens and a clean blue, and I'll show you how to mix them quickly and keep everything fresh, habits that will improve the colour in your own landscapes. Composition wise, the trees are off centre, land leading to the eye, a distant roof for a calm focal point, and once you see how this balance works, you'll be able to build similar arrangements in your own paintings. So in this video, you'll learn how to build a landscape in stages, how to use edges to create depth, how to control your values, when to soften, when to leave something alone, and how suggestion will create atmosphere. And these habits will support every landscape you paint going forward. First thing we're going to do is paint the sky. And for this I'm using cobalt blue and a little lavender. Using a medium mop brush, which is a Rosemary Co Red Dot collection number 4. Got a very nice point on it, and going on straight onto dry paper. Just trying to work out some cloud shapes here. As we're painting the sky in sections, it does make it easier than trying to do a complete wash. But one thing I will stress is just do the wash in one go. Now I've added some more water to this paint. And I'm introducing another wash now, smaller mop. This is a size 2 in the Red Dot collection. Jean Brilliant is the colour, and this is very watery. Just want to take the white off the paper. You can move this about quite freely. I'm just doing it at the top near where the clouds are, at the top of the cloud shapes, and the bottom near the ground, because that central part is going to be very much for that blue wash that I've got there ready and mixed up, which is a slightly more watery wash. Sweeping strokes sideways with this mop. This is back to the larger mop now. This is a size 4. The paper I'm using is Saunders Waterford 200 pounds rough. It's got a nice tooth to it. Gives you nice broken edges. While this is wet, you can still add some darks with the same colour to where you think it needs it. It's all going to dry very much lighter. These kind of paintings are invaluable, really. They're a bit more than a sketch, but if you do enough of them, you'll gain so much more knowledge. Keeping it very watery near the horizon line. Paper's taped to the board with just regular masking tape, and the board's at a very slight angle. I'll put the wash on, and I'm just touching in wet into wet with some stronger paint. But I only do this for a short period of time. That's all it needs. You can go straight over where the trees are. And also while I'm painting, rather than wait for things to dry, I will be drying things off during the filming of this. Hooker's green. A little bit of white. Sap green, rather. A little bit of white. Just to this foreground. Very much a secondary part of this painting, the foreground. It's all about having a big sky and those big trees silhouetting against it. Just put a quick first wash on. Now that's dried. French ultramarine and lavender, using the size 2 mop I was using before. All the shapes are done in the outline drawing, so you can just copy those shapes or invent your own. Raw sienna and some sap green. Going over this first wash now, just putting in some marks. I think I'll put a slight river there, I think, on the in the central part, running down to the bottom right of the paper. Oh, that will be tiny, really, because there's not much landscape there, not much land. Watery raw sienna, doing these leaves on the trees. First wash. And dipping into burnt sienna. Just breaking up that raw sienna wash now and using it to create the image of a break in the whatever's there in the distance, fields, bushes, trees. Hooker's green and Payne's grey and some French ultramarine. Keep it nice and thick and dark. Only going to give it one wash of this colour. I've done the shapes here for these darks in my outline drawing, which was done with a 2B pencil. If you struggle to do the drawing for these type of paintings, then it is available in my paint along pack over on Patreon. Now I've just dipped into some of this dark colour on my palette, and doing that far distance tree. And don't worry about going over your masking tape. That's going to come off at the end, leave a nice clean line. Back into the raw sienna. Going over that first wash, just darkening it in places. Just brush the paper lightly. And don't fiddle about too much. Just darkening up these initial washes. That's burnt sienna going over there. I've switched to a Rosemary Co round brush. This is the Designer Series 344. I want to get started on these tree trunks now, using quite a small brush really. Keep it nice and thick. I've drawn the trunk, so you can go along with that. I normally start at the bottom to go up, and remember that trees get thinner as they go upwards. I know it sounds obvious, but it looks odd if you start doing it thicker at the top than it is at the bottom. And just doing enough that everything I can do with this size brush on these trees. I'll use another brush for the fine branches, and then there's a few houses, maybe farmhouses or something, barns and that in the distance. Really not going to make too much of them. This is all about working on those three layers: trees, middle distance, sky, far distance, and the foreground. Putting in some darks, keeping that dark against light, which helps create 3-dimension. Now I've moved to a rigger brush now. This is a size 2 Rosemary Co Eclipse rigger. Dipping into neutral tint and Payne's grey. Now I've pre-drawn the branches here. Some I'll just invent that are not there, as I think it needs it as we go. Just bringing it out from those tree trunks, spreading it outwards. Confident brush strokes. Not putting in too many, just enough. I notice on the trees there are plenty of gaps between the leaves. And then dropping down to this foreground and just putting some marks in there. putting a base on those trees as well, so they don't get the appearance of floating. Still using the rigger brush. Light red for this roof of this house in the distance. Just bring that to everything to life in the distance there. Like there's a cottage or a house or something. Just adding some extra bits to these distant parts of the painting there. It's give you the appearance of hedgerows, maybe, that kind of thing. And this is that small stream, river. Just putting a bit of blue in there. And put my signature on there, and that brings this landscape to a finish. I hope you enjoyed watching the stages come together, and it's given you more confidence for your own future landscapes. If you want a full paint along experience, all the information I talk about in these videos, the colours, the mixes, the materials, the outline drawing, the reference image, and the A4, it's all available on my Patreon site. And it's also a great way to support me in this channel to make these longer real-time lessons. Just taking the masking tape off now. So thank you for painting along with me today. Take what you've learned here and use it in your own work. And that's where the real progress happens. There's a completed landscape. Thanks again for joining me. See you in the next one.